Okay, am I live? Am I live? Yeah, I'm live. Okay, cool. I'm live. All right, all right, all right. Yeah, thank you all for joining me here today again. Um, yeah, so I'm going to just go straight to like what we are supposed to do today. All right, so I'm aware that the last time we were, or less I'm aware, I remember, of course I'm aware. Yeah, but I remember that the last time what did we even do last time again? Let me check here. Yeah, last time was recurring debit. Yeah, so how to like debit a card after the initial debit, and then like how to avoid duplicate transactions. Yes, so I guess this time what I'll just quickly try to do is try to demonstrate how I would implement like automatically switching between service providers for a service, right? So I'll use bank transfer as an example of a service that I want to switch, between. All right. So, and if you have questions, yeah, I think you should like be free to just ask like in the comment box. I will be visiting the stream from time to time to see if there's any question, and then I'll just try to answer. What else? What else? What else? What else? Okay, I think that's like it actually. Enough intro stuff. All right, let's dive in. But before we dive in, let me just confirm that people can hear me and are on the stream. Okay, I think the stream is on. People can actually hear me. All right, awesome, awesome. So let's do this. All right, so I mean, the first thing I want to do is probably do like molecular an algorithm, or basically just something that shows like what my thought process would look like. Right. I'll just create a file called bank transfer JavaScript file, of course. And then let's just write something. Right, so how do we go about automatically switching? I think the idea would be to um, first work now, first work now. Okay, so I think I would first try to get the list of like all my processors. So I have to have my processors saved somewhere, right? And if I also have to find a way to rank my processors, right? Such that if a processor fails for some reason, I can just reduce their rank, for example, right? So I can reduce the rank for that processor. So let's say I have like three processors, for example, one is ranked first, the other is second, and third, and the last one is third. I can say, okay, you know what, and if this one is failing, just maybe reduce the rank or something. Yeah, I should also be able to totally enable or disable the processor. So I mean, it's not just ranking. Like the ranking should even be based on like if the processor is available or not, right? So if the processor is not even like enabled for processing, I shouldn't even like rank. I shouldn't even try to rank. I should just like not even just at all, right? It should not even be like in the equation something. Yeah. So what else? What else? What else? I think for now, really, I just dive in, and then if there's anything to fix, I will fix. So if I want to have my list of processors somewhere, I think the first place to have it is in my database. So I'll most likely be creating a new table. Um, because I'm lazy, I'm trying to backtrack to see if I can find somehow in my history. I cannot. Okay, let me just run the command. Let me stop being lazy. So let's do it. npx. Yeah, let me say sequelize. This sequelize CLI, and then migration. I'm trying to create a new migration here because I want to create create, let the name be like create transactions, no, sorry, create bank transfer processors, something like that. Is it gonna work? Is it gonna work? Is it going to work? New migration was created. That's all. All right, so a new migration was created. What I want to do is create a table. So it will be query interface dot um, create create table, right? Mm-hmm. The model name will be bank. Let me just call it bank transfers, and then a schema. All right, so let me just go and copy and paste like one of the old schemas and just edit because no time, no time, no time. Let me copy this one. So I'm sure that will come out. Right? Yeah, instead. So for this table, of course, I'll have an ID. I will have a processor name. I should also have like a something called a position, right? I would also now have an enabled or disabled field, basically, right? Should I say enabled or disabled? Let me say enabled because like it makes it for me enabled is easier to like if I say it's true or false, it's just easier for me to think about like instead of saying is it disabled, you have to be like thinking in the negative. So it's enabled, yes or no, kind of thing. Yeah. So um this is Boolean, allow no, it's false. The default value, right? Default value would be let me true so that when I'm adding stuff, it just just add it. So default value be true. What else is there to do? Created out, updated out like these days. I think that's all. The down function will just be to drop the table, right? So query interface dot drop table. Um, table name is what now? Bound transfer processors. So there you go. Is there anything else supposed to add? No, just yeah. So return this guy. Yep. And I'm not using this. Okay, I think I can actually just yeah. Okay. Let me just put it on the screen. So what else? What else? What else? What else? So I've created my up function. I'm supposed to return this as well. So thank you, ESLint. So I have this done. So let me run the migration and see what I have. Okay. For people watching. Okay. So, all right. So it says migration. Did you mean migrate? Yes, I meant migrate. Sorry. All right. Awesome. If I check um, my database here, I should have it now. So how do I refresh my database? Refresh all. Yep. Okay, so we now have a bank transfer source table. I mean, I can write a CDAS file, but because I did not want to, like, I just want to do it here to be quick because I want to focus on like the actual logic of the switching. So let's say the name of the first processor is Paystack, for example. And your position is going to be one because I like Paystack, I guess. Enabled will be true. Created at, okay, this created at is for formats, like how the date is written. Okay, so it's just data time. So let me just copy this here. And but I'm going to try as much as possible to. So I mean, no matter what this it was, really, to be honest, like doesn't have to be right now. So, let me just copy and paste it here. Okay, sorry. Let me also do the same for, yeah. Let me create like 3 processors, right? Each one of these will be 2. The name is should I say modify? Right. The ID is 2. We're going to create another one, ID of 3. Processor is who else again? Maybe Flutterwave. Right. Position is 3. Enabled is all enabled, right? So I just put the same list really. And then the date here as well. Right, cool. So let me just apply. There was an error. Ooh la la la. Where is it failing now? Incorrect integer value enabled. Oh, sorry, my bad. Yes, this enabled should be 1. 1. Boolean is 1. Tiny int. Yeah. Another error. Incorrect integer value true. Why is it? Oh, but I already changed that now. Enabled is 1. Yeah. Okay, awesome. Yeah, so I think we're good now. There's nothing to apply again. So, all right, let me just check on the stream quickly. Nothing? Okay. So, cool. So we have our processors created. Very simple. If I just, let me just test that. I mean, this thing is working fine, right? So, let me just quickly check something here. If I check one of the old, like, one of our old code, I just want to copy it and see if it works, right? Um, okay. So bank transfer would do something like this. Require from what else? Then just models dot find all. Sorry, I forgot the name of the table. Oh, I've not added it. I've not added the model. The model here. My bad. No, new file. New file will be. Let me call this bank transfer processors. That's the name of the table. Yeah, bank transfer processors. Well, that's it. And making this a JavaScript file. Again, I am going to just copy, like, copy, paste here again. Change user, there are no associations for now. So remove this or right. What else? I need to change this to bank transfer processors. Let me make this bigger. Oops, this is very big. Okay, so I need to just give me a moment to confirm if it's actually like if it's fine. So I mean maybe I'll just let you like comment if it's too big or something. And then we can work from there. Right? Okay, so I'm going to copy and paste this. So I mean maybe I'll just let you like comment if it's too big or something. We can work from there. Right? Okay. Sorry about that. That was like something. I mean, okay, yeah, I think my monitor is or something. Okay, so let's just continue. Bank transfer processors. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste here. And so, like, this is why I just try to like skip as much as possible because I mean, I just want to avoid all of these preliminary things. I just want to get into it, but it's okay. It's okay. You have the name, which is a string. Have let me just copy from the migration file. Sorry, I'm just trying to clarify because it seems like my streaming software is misbehaving or something. It's not. Wow. It's not. Okay. Um. Okay, I think it's. Is it back now? Is it back now? Let me see. I can't see anything. Wow. Wow. Sorry. Sorry. Okay. I think we. Yes, we are back now. We're back now. Sorry about that. All right. All right. We're back now. Cool. Okay. Yeah. So where did I even stop? Okay. Yeah, I was just trying to like update the. Just showing a bunch of cycles. Sorry. Um. Yeah. Should be back now. Should be back now. Sorry about that short. Okay, it's up now. Thank you. Right. So let me just go ahead. I need to quickly skip all these like parts and just get to the main thing. Okay. So where were we? Okay, so I was just here creating the model enabled, allow null, false, default values true, created that here, and blah, and we are done. All right, so we have all of that here. So if I go to the file I created earlier, the bank transfer.js file, I'm going to see models dot just to check like everything is fine. Let me just log, and then I'll just do the patch as well. Right, cool. So from there, I would okay because I don't want it to log like a bunch of things. I'm just going to pass raw to true, so it just returns like the raw result instead of giving me like a bunch of sequelize methods and things that I don't need. Right, so let me run this and hope it goes well, I guess. Oh, I know if I find out undefined models dot bank transfer processors. Is that an yeah? Sorry, 1 second. Bank transfer processors. Let me confirm the name. Yep, that's supposed to be it now. Am I mistaken? Sorry, let me just confirm this again before I go on. Mhm. Yeah, this should work. Hey, where am I making a mistake on this? Hmm, I'm not sure what's happening. Why is this not working? Oh, let's see. It keeps saying, what's this? If I look at the console, cannot report find all of undefined. Hmm, man, this is strange because I don't even know what I'm doing wrong now. Require models, and then I just do models does this, but model name this. So why is it not working? Oh, no, 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 that's not it. Yeah, it should work. Let me try something. Model of users, find one. Yeah, it works. So users table works. Bank transfer processors table does not work, even though the table exists. Oh, this is like what is happening? Uh, hmm. Let me just log the models. See what I have. Okay, so someone is saying like maybe the index, maybe the model.index.js. Well, there's nothing there to. I don't have to change anything here. I'm supposed to just like look through the all the files here and then just generate it from there. So I think what I'll just do is run it first and like maybe just log all the tables and see what's happening because Man, this is weird. So, okay, this is a lot of things. So, 1 second, because, all right, so models dots, card transactions, accounts, users, man, what table am I? It's supposed to be a local account users, card transactions, transactions. Interesting. My local database is not working. For some reason, it's not pulling it. Huh. Okay, this is new, but we'll figure it out. Let me just go back to my DB. Right, I believe this is my local DB. Let me refresh. Yeah, bank transfer processor. It's right here. Check how you define model in bank transfer processors. Okay, let me check. Let me check here. Yeah. So this is the bank transfer processor. Yep. And then I return it here. Or is it because should I do it? Is it because I'm putting this in? And it's empty. That would be weird. Because, oh man, what kind of thing is this? Where do I find this problem? Boy. Still can't find it. Oh boy. Yeah. Let me see. This extends, I'm creating a class that extends, I did that init, and I return. Simple. Oh. Wait. Okay, no, it's there. Ah, model name. Found it. Bank transfer. All right, so copy and paste. I didn't check that. All right, cool. So we have everything now. Thank you for staying and sticking with me here. This one, yeah. So log this, find all, give me the raw thing, and then okay, cool. This raw should actually be here. Okay, awesome. So we have an array, 3 of them. Yeah, my model name was users. Yeah, I just saw that. Thank you. All right, so let's just go on since we have gone past that project. Oh, that was a long one. One thing is, so I'm actually not going to like run a proper integration because that's going to take time. I'll be integrating with like 3 different providers like while on the stream. I don't think that's necessary. So what I'll just do is I'll create like functions that just maybe return stuff that can look like maybe what a processor will return, or maybe just a stripped down version really, so that we can focus on the core logic. So I'm going to have like a function here. What the function would do is, or what I want to actually do is, if I pass an amount to a function, right, based on like some parameters, it should return some things. So let's say I pass an amount to this function called transfer to bank, for example. Right, I would say something like, so of course this is never like going to happen in your real code, but I'm just putting this here. Yes, if amount is 10, I want it to return a failure, right? Success will be false. Error will be something like, I don't know, whatever. Bank transfer failed, right? And what else? Maybe this is it, honestly. Let me just keep it simple, right? Yep. And then, if not, just return successfully, and the message would be what now? Transfer was successful. There you go. Awesome. All right, so I just created a function that basically just based on the amounts return success or failure. That's all. I'm going to assume that this is like me calling a processor, right? So the next thing I want to do is start to write the logic for my application itself. So let me tell you, let me show you what I mean by that. Let's say I have a function, or let me see, can I reuse this function? I want to be able to like say based on the processor, call this amount or call this amount. Or like, sorry, call this function like based on the processor. So let me just create another function. Let me call this maybe process results, something. And let me actually create a function that does transfer to bank, right? What it's going to do is, I'm going to send an amount, obviously. So let me go back to the algorithm here. The first thing we're supposed to do is to get the list of all the processors. So we can just do processors would be, I mean, these are its own function here. Models dot find all, I guess. And what it would do is it would just return all the list, like the list of the entire list of processors, right? And what would be the next thing to do? But actually, I should just be calling like only the enabled processors, right? So I should have something like this, where the enabled is true. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, right. What am I doing wrong? Okay, let's let me just put this because I hate seeing those red lines. Really, really flat. Why now? Okay, all right, cool. So that's a list of processors. Then how do you rank? Okay, so being able to tell it enable or disable would be like maybe another function or something. But then how do I now get to rank? Usually when I want to work with ranks, I like to use Redis, right? Because like it's the easiest, it's like cheat mode for me, right? So I think let me just let me show my browser here at this point. Yeah. So there's something, I use a Redis data structure called a sorted set. So where do I go? Not commands. I want I think yeah, sorted set. So where do I find documentation for sockets for sorted sets now? Let me see. So the idea of a sorted set is that you can only put in unique items, and then it is sorted like it's naturally sorted based on the score for you. So, or rather, you can put in the item, and then you can fetch based on like a rank, which is of course based on from a score. So I can't really remember where to find the documentation itself, right? So 1 second. La la la. Let me see something. Sorry. Okay. No, 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 no. Okay, so I can't even find the documentation for some weird reason. Right. I can't find it. Oops. Okay. So let's just go on sharp, but let's go from command. Let's go to the commands. We'll see all the commands for sorted sets. Ideally, there are like three that we'll need, right? We'll need to have this one, which is to add. Let me open this one here. Right. Okay. So Z add supports a list of options right after the name of the key before the first score argument, and then on and on and on it goes. Right. Okay. Yeah. So let's read this one. I think there's found the link already, but I think this will suffice. So sorted by their score ascending way. The same element only exists in a single time. No repeated elements are permitted. The score can be modified both by Z app that will update the element score and side effect position on the sorted set, and Z increment by. So that's like Z increment by. Yeah, that can be used in order to update the score relative to its previous value. right? So it says the current score of an element can be retrieved using zcall commands that can also be used to verify if an element already exists or not. So for introduction, click on this link. Of course, we are not going to read through the entire conversation because I mean it's long. But I mean I've seen people like use this for leaderboards, for example, when you want to implement like maybe you have a gaming system and then there's a leaderboard type of thing where everybody can have different scores based on like what they do. So that's like what we are going to do. We are just basically going to create a leaderboard for all our processors, right? Cool. So let's get to it. Let's look at code again. I think I have a Redis model somewhere, or do I not? Okay, I use that in another branch. Okay, so quickly I'll have to install Redis here. I don't think it's installed. Okay, so I'm going to npm install Redis, and let me just create a file here. Right, I'm just going to like create my Redis file here, I guess. Yeah, for example. All right, so what Redis is required, so I'm just going to require Redis. Redis, not Redis. Okay, cool. So I don't remember how to create the connection. So let me quickly visit the npm page. npm.com package Redis. Awesome. All right. Cool. So how did they say we should connect? Yep. I think we can do this and do this, but that's not the connection. But let me just paste this first. Okay. First, then client.create clients, blah blah blah. Where am I supposed to pass in the options for the host and all of these things now? Let me copy this to you. Right. Create clients. Let me see. I think it will just pick it up automatically. I think there's a default for localhost to that. So okay. The reason why we have to use the promise file is because like it's not natively like promise based. Sorry, didn't you use it? Yeah. So why I don't have Redis anymore is because I sort of like branched off a much earlier branch. So that's why this is new. But it's okay. It's okay. We'll get to this. We'll get to it. Right. So this dot gets. I don't need this to be honest. Okay. Let's just test that this works. So I'm going to do something like this. Actually. So kind of get, let me just pass in a strange key. Let's see, test key, something. Maybe I should just, yeah. All right, so let me try something here. I'll see if it works. So if I run node redis, okay, it says no. Okay, so it doesn't find it. It's correct. I guess it's correct. But what we need in this is really for, so we need like we need functions for sorted sets, right? So let's see if I can just get them here. No, I cannot. Okay, I'll go back to this. Now, of course, we need that, right? So I'll have something like this. Commitify, right? And of course, I'm going to bind the clients. Also going to have, I need the capital A for this to be honest. I need exists. Sorry. Yep. I need exists as well. I will need something, I'll need Z rev range as well. We'll look at documentation and see what all these are, right? right? I don't know if you need it. For now, these were like off the top of my head. So if you look at Z rev range, for example, this is Z range. Where is Z rev range? Okay, so it's cool. So let's see what it is. So it says it returns a specified range of elements in the sorted set in the sorted set stored at key. So the elements are considered to be ordered from the highest to the lowest score. Descending lexicographical order is used for elements with equal score. All right, so apart from reverse ordering, Z range is similar to Z range. Right, cool. So let's see how this works. Right, if you send in Z, if you add like three elements to the set and it says -1, you just go from 3 to 2 to 1 like that. All right, cool. So how it works is the first element is like the name of the sorted set, the second element is the score, and the third element is the name, right? So if I wanted to, for example, add, I'll do something like, let me see, I'll do something like, I'll add, first thing is what now? So the name of the set, see, my sets, first, let's just test this, right? The first element would be, this first element will be the score, and then the name will be first element, or something like this, right? And I'll do this. I just want to know what it returns when we call those methods, so that's going to be useful. Right, so if I do this, this should, right? Let me change the name here. Second and third. Quite cool. If I add all of this, and then I see dot get, right? And I'm going to call it my sets. And I see, let me just log whatever it is. Right, cool. I'm sure some people are wondering, like, okay, I mean, how do you know to do these things? I'm just like, I mean, this is a live stream, so I've not done this in a very long time. I don't even remember, like, anyway, let's just run this. Let's just run this. Look at this. Z at, oops, my bad. Let me run this again. Wrong operation against the key with the wrong kind of value. Get argument, that's it. Code, wrong type. Okay, awesome. So this dot get. What am I doing wrong? This is wrong type. Operation against a key holding wrong kind of value. Oh, so I think you don't use get to get a. So how do you get a sorted set? Let's see. But that should work actually. Anyway, let me confirm something. So we added the first element, added the second element. So how did they do it in the example? Let's just use the example. Yeah. Find of gets. Sorry, let me go back to the example. All right, so they did not use a get, they use a rev range. So noted. So let me do, there should be how many arguments here? I should take in the name, right? And then, yep, 0. And then, let's see. So 0 and -1. So let's just run that. Let's see. We should reverse it. All right, awesome. So I have one third element, second element, money, first element. What is this? Monk third element. So it returns one first, then this element, then this element. Then. What does this mean? Sorry, box. Right. Okay, so it says what now? Rev range. So returns a specified range of elements inside a set at key. The elements are considered to be ordered from highest to lowest score, depending on the zero order, blah 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 blah. So array reply list elements in specified range, optionally with their scores. So where am I getting it wrong? So let me do something. Did I add monk at any point in time? Because I'm seeing monk and I'm seeing money. But okay, let's create another set because I don't know what's going on here, to be honest. So instead of my set, I'm going to call this new set, right? And I'm just going to do it here. And then I'm going to also call new sets here. Just to be sure that not the one misleading. Okay, so third element, second element, fourth element. All right, cool. And then, so I don't know, maybe I added like monk or something. Maybe I used that key before for something else. Can't remember. Okay. Yeah. So let's continue. We figured that one out. So reverse range, like I said, like documentation says, return specified range of elements set and blah blah blah. All right. So let's continue. Oops, that was long. So let's go back here. Let me just export all of this. Oh, I'm not using TypeScript. Sorry. So I'm going to clean up of this and just say, right, I'm going to let add rev range and then exists. Right. Cool. All right. So I think we can now get into the actual logic itself. Right. Cool. So bank transfer. Here we go. So let's see. Yep. So I'm going to get the list of processors first. Now I'm going to put in some. Just follow me here. I mean, because we put like in the database, we put a. Let me run this again just to show you what we have. Okay. Anyway, what we should have should be something like this. We should just have an array, to be honest, of like everything. But I want to confirm something. Okay. Undefined. Are you back here again? Oh, okay, sorry. Let's say 10. Undefined. Where enabled is true. So let me just remove this condition. I guess. Okay, I'm doing a find all. There shouldn't be a where. What else? A bank transfer processor. Find all. Okay, now this is weird. Hey, what's happening today? Transfer to bank. This. Oh, I'm not returning. Jeez. Oh, oh my goodness. So it means I should still have 2, 3 here. Okay. All right. So we have this name position. So we have something called position, right? 2, 3, and 1. It's returning this as a string. Let me confirm if I've not messed up. All right. Yeah. It should be integer, not a string. Okay, I would just, okay, I don't want to drop the table. I want to write under migration. Gosh. Let me see. So this is my problem. Should I write another migration again? Boy, boy, boy. I'm just going to drop the table and recreate it. Do that quickly. Uh-oh. Okay, cool. And let me just go back to the database. Sorry, I have to do this again, but I mean, It's by the time I refresh, it should be all gone. Right, so let me just quickly do this. This time I'll just quit. Okay, quickly. Solution is 1. Enabled is true. Created apps. Let me just copy some bits from another one. And really sorry I have to do it again. ID will be 2. Then I'm going to have 2. I'm going to have 1. Copy. 3. 25. 3. 1. Okay, cool. So we have them back in DB. Quickly, easy peasy. All right, so let's continue. If I run that file now, I believe everything should be fine. Okay, awesome. My number just wasn't. Yeah. Oh yes. So okay, I just saw a question. Isn't there a way to reverse a specific migration that you can just? Oh, I just did that because it was the last one, so I'm just reversing only the last one. So I could just have a script and then PM to just like and use that for me. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I could have just passed the file name really, but undo. If you just say undo, it reverses only the last one, and then if you do that, it does the last one before that one, and on like that. Yeah. So cool. So let's get to it. We have our list of processors now. The next thing we have to do is to so I'm going to import all those functions first, right? Where it is, right? Exists, bed range, and z add. Cool. So let's go on. So we have this here. We have the list of processors, but we need to even check. We need to create a key, right? So I'm just going to put it somewhere here in the file. I'll refactor later and then push up the proper code. But I'm going to say something like maybe bank transfer processors key name, something like that. And I'm going to call this something like that. Should be set name. Let me be more specific. So you have the set name, and then yeah, we have the set name. The first thing we need to do is to check if the set even exists at all, right? So we are going to do something like this. We're going to first await. Let's see. Right. I believe I can do this. Right. And they're passing the name. Right. For the first time, it shouldn't exist. Right. So I'm just going to return this. I believe it should return zeros. I'm not sure because sometimes the way the npm package behaves is a bit different from like what the documentation says. So let me do this. Okay, it's 0. All right. So if it doesn't exist, it returns a 0. Now, if it doesn't exist, I want to create this. I want to create this, but I'm not even sure. Like I don't. Let me see if I still remember how we created elements. So we could pass them as strings like this. Okay, this works. This works. This works. But I'll rather. I mean, I think. Oh, you can also pass an array. Let me confirm. If I do this, all right, it's an evaluated course. So yeah, you could either pass an array of elements or so with the key name and on and on. So you could either pass an array here, pass them like comma separated. So what you'll be passing in will be the name and the score. Now, but I want to add like an interesting twist to this logic, right? So let me explain the logic of what this sorted set is going to do. We are going to, every processor is going to have a score, right? This score doesn't exist on the DB. We only have something called position. And we'll assume that, position 1 is the highest and then B is the lowest. So let's just assume that for the sake of this. Now, what I want to do is whenever a transaction is successful, I want to increase the score for that processor, right? If a transaction is not successful, I will reduce the score for the processor. That's simple. Okay, so um, so that's like what I would, that's the logic I want to perform here. So let's go back to that file again, right? Now this one will return an array like of all the processors created at blah, 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 blah. Cool. Then the next thing I want to do is I'm going to create, I'm going to run through like the array that it returns. And then, so let me just do it instead of talking about it like the way I'm doing. So I'm going to say something like for each of these processors, right? And let's type it now. It's okay. I'm going to create an array, something like this. Hello. I'm just going to call it set array for now because I cannot remember, I can't start thinking of that. But basically, for each processor, I also want to say if you're like first position, right? So if your position is 1, I want to give you a head start. So you're going to start with a higher score than everybody else. You get. So that way, I mean, so let me explain my logic clearly as to why I'm going to give you a higher score initially. It's because, I mean, I'm assuming that the reason why your position is 1 is because maybe from a business standpoint, it's cheaper to use this certain processor. That's why we get it as 1. Or we actually have a good relationship with them, something like that, you get. So it's the preferred processor for the business. So the question is 1. I'm going to let you start with a higher score. I'm going to have, right? So I'm going to say, let's call the, I'm going to give you, let's say it's score 20. This is arbitrary, but just follow the logic, really, right? Then if it is not, if you're position 2, let's say I still want to give you some sort of head start, right? So if it's 2, I'm still going to give you a score of 10. Right, for everybody else, you know what, let me just, everybody else just have a score of 0 because after the second, I don't mean like the third, there's no point going that far, really. Why is this underline? Square line is never used as a line. Anyway, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to push it to the array, right? I'm going to push, I think how you do it is the name first. Let me just confirm. Yeah, the name, then the score. All right, so later on, so let me just say, so is the position only used to seed the set initially? What will happen is this set is going to have to refresh after some time. So actually it's going to have some expiry time. For some reason, it's possible that we had a meeting today and we realized that, oh, we want to change the position, right? But for the position, but for the amount of time where this set is valid, right? Yeah, that position initially we just use it to set the scores. You get, that's all it is. The source of truth will be ready after we run through this, like when we are creating the set if it doesn't exist. I don't know if that makes sense, right? And then, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to say going to push. I'm going to push the name here. And I'm also going to push. And I'm also going to push score. Right. So what I've simply done here is this: look through like a list of processors. If you are the most preferred one by the business, you get a head start of 20. The next preferred one, start with head score of 10, gets a 0. Right. Simple. And then yeah, push, 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 push. I assume that by the end, this set array should have like what we can save in Redis. So the next thing I would now do is, let me be sure that I close on this. Okay, cool. So the next thing we'll do is to just save it in Redis. We are going to do something like let adds. I'm now going to add this set array. Okay. Right, cool. And then we have it in Redis. But we also need to expire, yes, like I mentioned earlier. So I'm going to just create another expire function. No, it doesn't exist here, but let me do this. Yeah. I'm going to tell you, okay, so like I said earlier, the reason we want it to expire is so that the list can be sort of like refreshed. You get, how long do we want it to expire? We can maybe talk about that later. You get, but for now, let's just say, um, where is it? Okay, Z add this. And then I'm going to expire the set name first. Oh, I should be doing this here. I'll fix it. And then I think it's usually in seconds. So let's say I want to expire every, if it's 30 minutes, it'll be this. Or let's just do 1800. Cool. So, all right, let me confirm that I have things correctly out. So we're going to get the list of processors, create an array for each one, we push to the set, then we add this, and then we also make sure that the set expires. Yeah. Okay. No. Something's wrong. Oh, sorry. We are only supposed to be doing the add if it doesn't exist, right? So that we are not like just unnecessarily calling on this. So we are going to say if, because this is going to return 0 if it doesn't exist. Yeah, true. If it doesn't exist, let's see. All right. If it doesn't exist, then run the loop and push it, and then we now add this and expire. Sorry. All right, so if it doesn't exist, run this loop here, add it to the set, and add the expiry. If it does, right, we'll just sort it by like the highest rank. You get it? So where is that? So we'll just do a Z rep range, and then so if not, so if it doesn't exist, do this. If it does, so I just want to get what I need to get from this, right? Is not, I don't need to get the entire list. What I'm going to process by, or the person I'm going to use, is most likely the highest ranked one. So what I will do is this, that rev range, right? And I'm going to, let me confirm this name. Okay. The name is this. Sorry. And I'm just going to say highest, what am I going to put now? Highest core processor. We're going to run, I think we should run this first and see if it exists, right? So let's just run through the logic one more time. We first get all the list of all the processors. We have an array that's empty. Then we check if it exists. If it doesn't exist, we'll create a loop where we add like this score for each one and the name, right? And then we expire it. And then we now try to get this list, right? But this if it doesn't exist, right? But if it does, if it does, I mean, we just either way we are calling it. So let's just do it like this for now. I'll think about the flow better. Maybe like after the stream or something. For now, I'm doing is a live stream, so I'll just get to work first. All right. So what I want to return is the high score processor. Let's see what we get. Let's see if this works. Set add for all. Syntax error command. Oh, I'm not doing something correctly. 1 second. Push the name, push the score. Okay, before we do this, let me just log here first. I'm going to also just comment this out because I'm not sure what's happening with this array. So, okay, I think it's sorry. No, set array actually. All right, cool. So, okay, so this is 20, this is 10, this is 0, right? And I'm calling it Z add. Okay, I did not pass the name. Thank you. Add to this set. Name first, then the array. Cool. So I guess we can continue now. So what we should get is the highest code processor, which should be paystack, right? So this function should return the entire thing. Okay, another error, value is not a valid float. For which command now? Z add again. This is not the name here, and I'm passing an array. So what is wrong? Sorry, I know it's going to return an error again, but I need to be sure what is happening. Before I log, let me go back to how we were doing before. String. Okay, we're using strings, but I believe you can return from the type, right? From the type, you can return the first one should be the key, then you now have an array of strings. So that should work. That should work. So why is it saying let me see. Z add bank transfer processors, paystack, this, yeah. It should work now. Not a valid float. Let me think about this a bit. What does it mean that it's not a valid float? Bank transfer paystack is 20, flutter is 10, modify is 0. Is it not name before score? Yeah. Oh, it's score before name. Oh, damn. Sorry about that. All right, so let's run again. Variable is not a function. Hey, now wow. Ah, boy. I thought it was going to return an array, but if it's not going to return an array, let me just log whatever this like. Okay, I did not await. So I guess that's the issue here. I did not await this guy. All right, so let's run again. All right, so we have paystack. Awesome. So paystack is the highest score one. All right, so far I think the logic's clear, right? What we have done, like I said before, we got the list based on the position, we gave it like a default score, and then we push everything to an array, and then here, so highest score processor. And then you return a string. This highest score processor will return a string called paystack, right? I can now have, so imagine that in your code you have something like, let me pull out everything here first. Imagine that in your code you now have something like maybe process transfer or something that will now take in a processor name and an amount. Then you now have something like if the processor is paystack, for example, right? Then you're going to call the paystack function, something like that. So let me just as much as possible. I'm going to create like 3 functions, right? The function name is going to be, I'm just going to call it PSTBT, so paystack bank transfer, right? It just returns I can send you the amount and then it will return process results of the amount, right? Simple and short. We'll do this. Oh, so let me replicate this for 3 processors. So if it's paystack, if it's Flutterwave, then we've got Flutterwave and then Monify, right? Cool. If I have this three, right? So I'm going to say if it's paystack, call paystack BTB amount, right? And if it is, Flutterwave, call Flutterwave BTB amount. If it is Monify, call. In fact, actually, let's return. So I imagine that like all these functions would like normally house your integrations and all of that. So I mean that'll be straightforward, right? So if process D equals this, am I missing a closing? No, unexpected token where? Oh, sorry. All right, cool. So what I'm now going to do is I'm going to have these amounts here. So back to that our function. Once we get the name of the highest processor, right, the next thing we want to do is to call the appropriate function. So I'm going to now say something like bank transfer results is process bank transfer, right? And let's call process bank transfer with the highest code processor and the amount, right? But that's not the end, of course. Let's quickly look at the function of the root, right? Each one calls, of course, calls the same function. So if the amount is 10, if the success is false, all we want to do is quote unquote punish the processor, right? And if it's true, then we increase the score of the processor. So I'm now going to say, like, if bank transfer results, if success is false, right? If it's not successful, what you want to be is reduce the processor's score. If not, then you increase the processor. Okay, right. So how do we increase? And I think there's a function in Redis called Z increment by or something. Yeah, increment by. Cool. This is it. Z increment by. Let's tell you what. So you pass in the set name, you pass in um, let's see, increment by. Okay, so yeah, so you increment by the number you want to increment by, and you pass in the name of the key, right? Or the of the member you want to increase their score. So we are going to be increasing scores by, let's see, score is 0 here. Let's say we are increasing scores by, just to make it a bit more, realistic. Let me start this guy with 30, and then we'll start this one with 10. Now we are going to either reduce or increase with 10. Get it? So I can just also add. I don't think we have that function here already. Z add, so I'm just going to use Z by. And I should go and add it here as well. Right. Awesome. And I should add it here too. Right. Cool. So Let's go back to our form. So I'm going to reduce the score by doing an await here. Increments. Let me confirm from the docs again what the order should be. The name, the score, then the set, the member of the set. So of course, I'm going to pass in this first. It failed. I'm decreasing the score, right? So I'm going to do -10, and I'm going to pass in highest score processor. Does it make sense? Yes, it does. So the score and then the name. All right. I don't know if you see this. Right. Awesome. Else, we increase the score. So instead of reducing by 10, we increase by 10. Right? So, and then we now, so once that is done, we now return, let's say just return our transfer results. Voila, we are good to go. We are good to go, right? We're good to go. Awesome. So let's look through the whole logic again from the top. I think we're actually done. So, but let's look through it from the top. Get the list of processors, create an array. We check if the set exists. If it doesn't exist, you run through the array and assign the scores. You push them to the array so you can add it to Redis, right? Then you add it and you expire after like 30 minutes or something. So that after 30 minutes, you will automatically just refresh the list, right? Then you get the highest processor by doing a rev range, and it returns like the lists with the reversed gets like from the highest to the lowest. And then you now call the bank transfer processor with the processor name and the amount. Based on the success or failure, you increment or decrement, and then you return the result. Um, Currently, our highest score processor should be Paystack, right? And let me see if we will return the score. No, okay, no, it's gonna be like that. We initially did 20, right? Mm, let me just change the name here so that we can create a new, so you can start from like scratch because I don't want to have to expire that manually. So mm, let's just do bank transfer processors list. Let's call this list, right? Okay, so we're going to run this. What we expect to happen, right? I think I should even use a debugger at this point so that things are faster. One that we can go step by step. What we expect to happen first is that the highest processor is Paystack, right? Next is that we have so we are starting with 30, right? What we are going to do is to make it fail 4 times. If we make it fail 4 times, by the so 30 reduced to 20, 20 reduced to 10, 10 reduced to 0. But let's just do 3 times. We'll make it fail 3 times. After the third time, so on the fourth time, we expect that the highest processor should be the one in second position. I think that's Flutterwave, right? So let's just go through this process like gradually and see if everything works as expected, right? So I'm going to edit the script here, my start script, to use, instead of app, I'm going to use bank transfer. Yeah, this is the point where we're going to find out if the logic actually works. But so to trigger if your what's our logic game? Said if it's 10, it fails, right? It succeeds. Cool. So I'm going to call 10 and expect that at the third time I'm running it, then Flutterwave will now be the next highest processor. Right. So let's start this up. So I'm running the first time. Let's see if it exists. Oh, success false. Oh, we already returned. So that's the first time, right? The next time we call it again, success false. Why is not using my breakpoints? Sorry, let me restart this. Oh, is that bad? So we called it twice, right? So the score should have gone from 30 to 20, then from 20 to 10, right? Let's run it one more time. It's not using my breakpoints still. All right. So what we are, apart from logging this, Let's try Scopter. So I've run it 3 times, right? Um, I'm going to log export processor. Okay. So by the time I'm running it now, I expect that it is no longer paystack. Okay, it's still paystack. One more time. Oh, it's now Monify. You see that? So I think there's something wrong with the way I ran it before or something. But yeah, so you can see that it is now Monify. So after we run it like 1, 2, 3, how many times? So we started with 30, right? So we use from 30 to 20, from 20 to 10, from 10 to 0, right? Then on the fourth time, we now have the one who was in position 2, right? Which is Monify. Uh-oh, it's wrong. So we need to carefully look at this. There's something wrong here. Something wrong with the logic. So let me just confirm something. If it's 2, oh, this one has a head start of 10. That's why it should be further with. So I need to see the scores. So what we need to do is, I think you can pass an argument that is with scores or something like that when you are doing a rev range. Where is it? Rev range. Where's rev range? Z rev range. Right. Cool. Can you pass with scores? Is it this one? There's one that allows you to pass like with the score or something. Okay, no, it is with, I think it's with, come here. Let's see. Reverse the range here. Then range, blah, 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 blah. Is there a way to search Z set? Going to Google with scores. But I want to now see the list with all their scores. I'm sure that's okay. I think it's yeah. So with Z range, oh, function naming gets a bit confusing. I'm sorry. Especially with the commenting. Yeah. I mean, this is live coding, so I'll still clean up. But I just want to make sure that logic even works first. Then then we'll get to it. Let me search for the scores. Functional with scores arguments supplements commands reply with the value scores and elements returned. Okay. So I think it happens with Z rev range. So let's try it. So with Z rev range, I want to also return with scores, right? So let me see, processor list is this. Then I'll just do highest clock processor will now be the first element of this, right? So cool. So I just want to be sure that I'm seeing like all the scores with the list so that I know what's happening, right? So let me just add a quick description. This one is a function, function that calls an imaginary paystack integration, right? For example, right? That's all. This one will call Flutterwave. This one will call Monify. That's what the 3 functions do, right? Then I have this function is a general function that calls let's say processor function based on processor. And then this one is just like the actual function itself. So this one is just the main function. Something. Yes. So what we do is we call the press bank transfer function with the person name. This one now calls the respective like function, and then we move on from there. Yeah. So I want to make sure that my debugger is working properly. Let me just check one more time. So start app is supposed to call bank transfer.js, right? I also want to create a set from scratch. So I'm going to change the name again. Pardon me. I'm just going to do this. All right. Or just to be sure that I haven't, I'm just going to call it BT. list. So let's start the app now. Let me remove these breakpoints. So I want to put breakpoints in like the meaningful places. First is to check if it exists. The next is to get the score, the highest score processor. Yeah, and then, so I don't need to log anymore since I'm using my debugger, right? So let's run this. Start up. Success false. It's not using my breakpoint. So what's happening now? What's happening? Oh, man. Okay, it's fine. In that case, I have to log. I just have to log. I don't have a choice. All right, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to log the solist here, right? And I'm going to log highest score processor. But since my debugger is not working, so I also want to another time again BT processors list. All right, so let's run this now. It's going to. I expect that the set does not exist, right? So I'm also going to log set exists here. Right. Cool. So let's run. We are starting from scratch again. So let's run now. So cool. The first time, this zero means this zero is for the first one, which is so the set doesn't exist the first time, right? The processor list is space stack with a score of 30, Flutter with a score of 10, modifier with a score of 0, and then the preferred one is space stack. That's the first time. Now we are going to run it again. It should be 1, then space stack with a score of, because it failed, I believe it should be 40. Oh, I have the, okay, yeah, I'm correct. So it should be 40. If it doesn't, if it's success, 40, yeah. So let's run it again. No, it should be 20 rather. So I expect us to have 1, paste stack, sorry, 1, paste stack with a score of 20, and then paste stack again. So let's run again. Yes, so that's it. So 1, paste stack with a score of 20, the others are still the same, right? So paste stack still has the highest score. We are going to do this one more time, or 2 more times actually. So it's now 20. Right, cool. Paste stack with a score of 10, Flutter with a score of 10, modifier with a score of 0. Of course, it's still paste stack, right? Cool. Let me confirm something here. It's still paste stack. Yeah, it should still be paste stack. Paste stack now has 10. So the next time, I expect that paste stack now drops, right? So let's run this again. So paste stack is still 10. Let's run it one more time. Paste stack should drop to 0. Yes. So you see, Flutter has become the preferred option now. So after this request, by the next one, Flutter will become the next one. Paste stack will be 0. Modify will be 0. So see that this works. So like, I mean, so let's assume that Paystack was failing. Paystack had failed like 4 times. So we moved to Modify, right? And Modify is going through now. So let's just adjust the logic. So instead of calling it 10, let's call it 100. So you see that Modify Flutter Wave score should be increasing, right? By the time we run this again, Flutter Wave should have 20. Uh-oh. Paystack is back. Why? There's a problem. There is a problem. There is a problem. So you can see that transfer was successful, but it didn't increase Flutter Wave. We need to find out why. And I think it's from here. Bound transfer phase, success false. What we expect to happen, yeah, the score should determine the position, sure. So I expected that he used Flutter Wave and then he increased Flutter Wave score. So I need to find out why he not increased Flutter Wave score. Increment by this guy, increment by 10, and highest score processor. Uh-oh. But it was true. Yeah. Let me run this again. Sorry. Recommends paste. Did it expire? No, paystack is now 10. Something is wrong. Something is very wrong. Something is very wrong. Okay, let me look at the logic properly. For each one, we push the score. I know because he's adding the success one. It's not adding, like it's subtracting when he fails, but it's not adding when he succeeds. Right. So let's confirm what's going on here. The highest processor is this one, right? If it doesn't exist, this happens. If it exists, get the list with the scores, like with the range, right? And the highest score should be the first element. So yeah, there you go. Then you log the highest score, which is supposed to be this, and then we'll process the bank transfer results, right? If success is false, we'll increment the highest score processor with -10, so we reduce the score. And if it is correct, we increase it by 10. So where is the problem coming from? This 1800, I need to confirm if it's seconds. Where do I do that? Let's see where this comes. It's in seconds. So yeah, it's in seconds. Let me confirm that the package also uses seconds. How can I expire on the partition? Oh, I wrote 10, should it not be +10? Oh, well, it doesn't matter if I write -10, increments by -10. If not, it increment by 10. So I don't think there's any need writing like +10. There's no need writing +10. Right. More. I need to find what is wrong. What's wrong here? I need to restart this from scratch again. Sorry, because I don't get why it's. Oh, oh, oh. Okay, no, this is correct. Paystack BT for paystack, Flutterwave BT, Flutterwave, Modify is Modify BT. And they all call the same function. Right. Paystack, Modify, Flutterwave. Right. Okay. Set exists to be 1. I mean, I just have to run this again and watch it more closely. I don't know why my debugger is not working. Maybe I should close it and restart. So, all right. I really need the debugger to work. It's easier. This login is stressing me out. Right. So let's try again. Yeah, my breakpoint. Okay. So let's do this. Okay, it's still not working with my. So it has increased paystack score now to 20 because it was 10 before. Sorry, let me just refresh this thing because I'm not sure what's happening to that. Not sure. And the time is in seconds, so let me also check for the expiry. Let's not expire today. 1800 seconds is supposed to be how many minutes? 30 minutes. Okay. So let me change the name to something like, or you know what? Let me just even call that expire. Let me just expire from start. So I don't have to be doing it every time. Go to expire it. Okay. And that shouldn't be here. That should be here. What I'm going to do is first expire, so we are starting from scratch again with the same name. All right. So I expect to have 0 first. It exists. Oh, sorry. Let me run it. So I expect to have 0 first. Yeah, 0. Pay start with a score of 30, bottom with a score of 10, modify with a score of 0, right? And it was correct. So if I run this again, I expect to see highest score processor will be pay stack, and the score will be what, 40, because I had a successful transaction, right? Let me see. It's not increasing the score. That's the problem. It's not increasing, but it's reducing. Come in. Okay, now this is a strange one, very strange. Where is Z increment by? So, I mean, I'm live coding, so I'm also live debugging. Boy. Increment with 1, increment with 2, 2. Yeah, so when you increment by, yeah, it should give you 3. Yeah, increment by this, it should return the result by the time you. So you set 1 to be 1, set 2 to be 2, then you incremented 1 by 2, right? So 1 should now be 3, right? Correct. And then Z range, yeah, reverse the range. So I'm not even sure why this is not working properly, to be honest. Because, like, oh, let me run again. Let me see what it gives me again. It's still saying 30. Oh, sorry. I forgot to remove it after the first time. They expire. Sorry. So, okay. So let's run it again now. I expect to see 30. This time it's score of 40 now exactly. So you see it incremented it now by 40. So if you run it again, it should be 50, right? Right, cool, 50. But you know we are logging, so actually the logic is correct. I'm just stressing myself. You know we are logging before we increment or decrement, you get? So if I run it again with 10, right, it will return, it will be 50, but just to show that it works, let me do something. I'm going to get it again. Um, yes. So it's not like I was wrong. I was logging before the operation and not after. Let me call this final processor list. Final processor list. Awesome. So when I run this, you'll see the change in score. Right. So you see it was 60 before, now pay start is 50. You get it? So let's just keep getting to fail and fail and fail. It was 50, now it'll be 40. Yeah, cool. It'll be 40, now it'll be 30, then 30 to 20, then 20 to 10, then 10 to 10. Oh, sorry, 20 to 10, then, yeah. Okay, reduce by 10 again, so pay stack will now be 0, flutter will be 10. I don't know if you see that, right? And then, yeah, so I think our logic actually works. One more time, just so that I don't have to keep refreshing and the history doesn't disappear. I'm going to not use my debugger. I'm just going to run it here. But I'm going to like create a new bank TF, right? So I'm going to run it. It's going to start pay stack with 30, right? So I'm going to do something like this. I'm going to run like 3 or 4 times. Can I do that? Yeah, I can do that. You run pay stack to fail 1, 2 times. So you go from 30. After this, it'll be 30 to yeah. So 30 to 20. Let's just see how it goes. Let's just see it fail, and then produce an instruction so. All right. Oh, okay. So you can see at the end, paystack had gotten to -10. because we are debited it, like we are reduced it 4 times. And modify Flutterwave had 10, right? But is Flutterwave supposed to be second? Let me see. Is Flutterwave is second? Okay, yeah. So the logic actually works, right? Flutterwave, and we are Paystack was instantly, so we're reducing its score, right? And then by the time we are done it the 4th time, what happened was Flutterwave was now the first because it now has the highest score. So let's make it pass. So let's make it successful. So Flutterwave is going to have like 20, 30, 40, 50. Flutterwave should have a score of 50 after this. Yeah, you see that. So Flutterwave now has a score of 50. Right? Modifier has 0, Paystack has -10. Right? So let's make Flutterwave fail 6 times. Right? So it is lower than Paystack. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now that Flutterwave is the highest. Right? All right, so you can see Modify is now 0, Paystack is -10. So it will process with Modify now. I mean, we can just keep playing with this on and on and on. You get let Modify increase like 3 times, right? And yeah. So what will happen is Modify will now have a score of 20, 30 rather 30, yes. So see now it's score of 30, rest of -10. And this is how you will go. You get so your system is now automatically like switching between which one is failing and which one is successful. And then also you can just disable a processor from here, right? So if you make this, I want to disable Paystack, right? If I disable Paystack, for example, disable, close. Let's see what will happen. If I disable Paystack, I'm doing a find all, so I should change this to, I think I can still do, can I pass a where to find all, or should I do find and do something like, because we're not checking for that before. There should be another video, right? Max length. Okay, cool. So yeah. But then, this is flawed, right? Because you know why? Even though you disable Paystack, it will still try to use Paystack on the list. And that's not right. So what you want to do is when you're going to make sure that how that list gets edited. Normally nobody should have access to just be able to go and edit your DB. Right? It should be by maybe a script or something. What you want to do is you're going to now write a script that makes sure that every time you update this list, like maybe when you disable or enable a set, a processor, it also just cleans out the set. You get so maybe you have a function. I won't bother writing this, but maybe you have a function that maybe disables a processor, right? You find the processor name, for example. You are now going to call db to disable processor, and you are going to just clear the set. And so that way, next time it's running, it's going to just fetch. It's just going to remove it from the set as well. So I think this is like all the logic. We can come to the end of this here. I don't know if you have any questions, but if you have questions, you can like maybe tweet at me or something. My Twitter handle is @MaziBayo. Right. Yes, so that's my Twitter handle there. Let me just see again. My Twitter handle is @MaziBayo. All right, so you can tweet at me if you have questions. If this was great, you can also like go on Twitter and like tell everybody that it's nice, right? And yeah, so I guess we are done for today. Thank you so much for joining me on this one. Have a great week. Yeah, goodbye.